All right, tonight we are sinking our fangs into a fantastic story of urban fantasy, political intrigue, and just a dash of personal horror. We're going to break down how this small, newly formed group of vampires is trying to solve the disappearance of their ruler before the dark secrets of Portland, well, consume them all. And it all begins with this really haunting observation from one vampire to another. It just perfectly sets the stage for a world where, cheating death is just the beginning of your problems. Now you've got an entire eternity to face the consequences of what you've become. So, the central mystery kicks off when Prince Cayenne, the vampire who's kept this fragile peace in Portland for decades, just vanishes. Poof. Gone without a trace. And his absence creates this incredibly dangerous power vacuum, leaving the city's entire undead society just teetering on the brink of total chaos. Now, caught right in the middle of this political storm is a coterie, which is basically a small mandatory alliance of vampires. And this one, it's a real mix of outcasts. You've got a hardened investigator, a DJ who's spiraling into addiction, a super calculating Ventrue from the vampire aristocracy, a reclusive artist, and a newly turned fledgling. And they're all forced to rely on each other to survive. The investigation pretty much falls to the Undertaker, who's the coterie's de facto detective. His first move is to get out of the city's concrete jungle and head for the unnerving quiet of the countryside. He's looking for an exiled source who just might hold the key to the whole mystery. But here's the thing. This journey isn't just a physical one. Alone on his motorcycle, the Undertaker is absolutely haunted by the memory of a man he killed earlier that night. It's a moment that forces him to confront the monster he's becoming and his own dwindling connection to his humanity. And this is where we see a core concept of this world in action. To process what he's done, he has to make a remorse roll. It's a literal roll of the dice to see if he can hold on to his conscience or if that predatory beast inside him gains even more control. It's a roll for his soul. And he fails. A piece of his humanity is just lost. The beast gets stronger, filling him with this need for dominance and aggression right as he's arriving for this incredibly important meeting. The whole dynamic is about to change. So he meets Isam, who was Prince Cayenne's former second-in-command and is now living in this self-imposed exile. Isam makes it crystal clear. He has washed his hands of the city's politics. He wants absolutely nothing to do with his power games. But he doesn't send the Undertaker away empty-handed. He provides two bombshells that completely upend the group's entire investigation. First, their main suspect, the rival Anarch leader, Angela, turns out she was secretly an ally of the prince. And second, the new prince, Anasif, is totally lying about how she came to power. Okay, so while the Undertaker is out chasing down these huge political leads, the rest of the coterie is fighting their own personal battles. It's a great reminder that in this world, sometimes the biggest threats are the ones that are already inside you. And we get this surprisingly tender moment. Joshua, the reclusive artist, who's been slowly losing his grip on his humanity, reaches out to Matt, the youngest member of the group, with a small, handmade gift. He gives him an origami lunar moth. And the symbolism here is just so potent. It's this beautiful, fragile thing that's attracted to light in a world of total darkness. I mean, it's a perfect metaphor for Matt's own struggle to navigate his new monstrous life. But while one member is reaching for the light, another is plunging straight into darkness. At the exact same time, Zane the DJ is battling his compulsions, hitting a downtown club, absolutely desperate to feed both his vampiric hunger and his mortal drug addiction. And this out-of-character question from the player just perfectly captures the tension in the room. Zane is losing control, and everybody knows something chaotic is about to happen as he's hunting in this pulsating crowd. And boy, does it. The dice roll results in what's called a messy critical, which is basically a spectacular success that comes at a terrible, unforeseen cost. He gets what he wants, but in the absolute most brutal way imaginable. He snaps out of a total blackout to find 3 unconscious bodies, blood everywhere, and he has no memory of what happened. But the most disturbing discovery of all, one of the victims has this vicious gash that was not made by his fangs. Someone else was in that room with him. So shaken and bloodied, the coterie finally regroups at their haven, a dilapidated junkyard, to pull their information and just try to make sense of the night's violent and frankly contradictory events. And Isam's intel changes everything. Their prime suspect, Angela, the leader of the rebellious Anarchs, is now probably innocent. Meanwhile, the new prince, Genevieve, who claims she was totally prepared for this transition, apparently she was shocked by the disappearance. Her whole official story is a lie. But just as they start to process these new revelations, their plans get completely interrupted. Their phones all light up all at once. They've been summoned by Raven, the new prince's intimidating and extremely powerful enforcer. Raven pressures them to basically act as informants for the new regime, demanding they report any vampire who breaks the ancient laws. Then, she announces a high-stakes holiday party for the city's vampire elite. But there is a huge catch. Each coterie in the city is only allowed to send 2, and only 2, representatives to this exclusive little get-together of predators and politicians. And this presents a massive dilemma. Their fragile group now has to choose which 2 of them are going to navigate this political minefield. Do you send the investigator, the high society diplomat, someone else? The wrong choice could literally get them all killed. So after a night of insane revelations and brand new threats, the coterie's path forward is, well, it's clearer, but it's also infinitely more dangerous. They have a new suspect to investigate, a political party to infiltrate, and personal demons that are just growing stronger by the minute. Which really leaves us with the final critical question. They are caught between a massive political conspiracy and their own inner beasts. As they move to confront the powers that rule the city, the real question is whether this alliance can even survive the hunt, or if they're just going to end up tearing each other apart first.